All right, so we're live. Okay, so how do you want to start?
What do you mean live?
Not live. I mean, it's recording.
Jesus.
I just mean it's recording.
What the hell? You put us on Facebook Live?
No. All right. Hey, people.
Hey, welcome to our first episode podcast.
That's right. I'm Cheryl.
I'm Wendy.
And this is Grandma's Not Right.
Grandma's not right.
Because Grandma's not right.
No.
In many
so many
ways.
Yes. You can explain all the ways.
Should I explain all the ways?
Explain all the ways.
I probably don't really need to. They can probably make them up themselves.
But I like your explanation of the ways. I'd like to hear it again.
Well, Grandma's not right in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And our children can attest to that. Our grandchildren can attest to that.
Definitely. A lot of neurodivergence.
We'll be
I'm a Gemini,
that
so
in this episode.
that's a yes.
Grandma's also not right. We're not right. We are definitely
generationally wrong.
Everything we say, everything we do, our kids are questioning.
Yes.
So being a boomer and a Gen X, we are definitely.
Side note, there's another term for you because you're not quite a Gen Xer. It's something, I want to say it's Johnson, but something Johnson. I'll have to look that up. You have to put a little flash bar up there that says,
check that out.
She's not right again.
Not right. So we're kind of that weird. I was born in 1960.
67.
So
6'7".
6'7". Yay. Hey, yeah. Nice. Nice. See, Grandma's not right.
No.
Okay, Grandma's also not right. Or would it be, for your vision, right? I don't know.
Yes.
These grandmas are a little left.
We are definitely left.
You'll learn that as we go. Hopefully you won't stop watching because I said that.
Give it a chance, but I get it. I get it. If the shoe was on the other foot, I don't know. Maybe
we'll see.
I might run out the door the second too that they said that. I don't know.
And then again, sometimes we might watch just to see,
Yeah, but give it a chance.
Yeah. All right, so this is going to be a podcast about everything in our life.
Yes.
And that means anything from having kids, having
working with kids.
Working with kids.
Our life's work was with kids.
Our careers, our businesses.
Our business together.
Spiritual stuff,
yep.
You name it. We're going to talk about everything. Mm-hmm. We're also going to let y'all know how not to live your life. We'll share all of our mistakes. Well, not all of our
We
mistakes,
could write a book
the
on
ones that we can.
101 things not to do in marriage, children, business, relationships.
Because we've made all the mistakes.
Yes.
Every single one.
I think so.
Yes. All right, so this episode is going to be all about craziness, our family crazies.
Oh,
we have a crazy gene in our family.
Yeah, there may be a lot of edits on this this first podcast.
Yeah, if it cuts in and out, it's because
we might have said something we shouldn't have said.
Aunt so and so, or uncle
cousin,
so and so, or cousin so and so,
or
might not appreciate that line.
Yeah.
So you may find a few chops here and there, and you'll know why.
Yeah.
We got to keep our family happy.
That's right.
Anyway.
Oh, and we can't discount animals because right before we started this, and we'll show a video cut later of my grand cat that lives with me. Long story. We'll get into that another time. Not happy about us invading the room. And I got attacked by this cat a few nights ago, so I'm still bitter.
And she's how old?
17 and a half.
17 and a half.
Yeah.
And this cat you'd never know she's that old.
Yes.
She hissed at me big time earlier tonight. I'm scared to death of her, and she's laying on the bed right there.
Yeah. I see you with her shins.
And she's wagging her tail.
Evil.
And her ears are like this.
But we will definitely get into how our pets also play a part, because I've had some pets that are crazy.
We've had crazy,
and
neurotic, weird-ass pets.
Yeah, so... This is going to be about everything.
It is the aura of our family.
And those of you who know us, like our family, friends, employees we've had, students we've had, there's so many, you'd be like, yeah, we've heard all their same jokes, and yeah, okay, you know, and disclaimer, I have a potty mouth. I will be dropping F-bombs and all kinds of bombs. So if you're skittish about that, you're like, no, I didn't know that they had mouths like that all these years. We thought they were nice little gymnastics instructors. How could this be? Yeah, no, I got a filthy mouth. Sorry.
You know,
I make no mistakes.
You can be a good person and have a filthy mouth. Right?
I guess.
Words. Think about it. This is a whole other podcast. Words. Think about what are words. Who decided what word? You know, I mean, we can do a whole podcast on words and language.
Exactly.
We will. All right. So it is time, as we will start every podcast with,
Okay.
Wendy's word of the day.
The day of the week. We're not doing a podcast every day.
Sorry. Wendy's word of the week.
Okay.
What is it?
Assholery.
Assholery.
Right out of the gate. Potty mouth.
You say it the way you
unleashed.
normally say it, though.
Assholery.
Assholery. Or if you were going to say something, you were to call somebody an asshole, how would you? Asshole.
I would say this moment will go down in history of the biggest bunch of people participating in some bogus assholery.
Assholery.
There you
She
go.
used
I
a
don't
very,
know.
very nice little paragraph there.
So, okay, look, man, first of all, this is Friday. It's a Friday. One more week of work to go, and then I'm off for a week for Thanksgiving. So it's one of those, it's been a long day and long week.
Long month.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Okay.
amongst other things, which is the whole point of this podcast, because we're not right. So if you expect something else, I don't know what to tell you.
Assholery.
I'll tell you
Hey,
why.
give me an example of assholery.
Okay, I work at a school, all right? I work with special needs kids that are physically handicapped and or disabled. I apologize if that was the wrong terminology. You know, I'm a Gen Xer and I get it wrong, and so I'm sorry. So our school, our part of the school gets out first by about 15, 20 minutes than the school that we're in. I'm with the county, and then we're at a district school. So if you know, you know. If you don't, I don't need to go into it. But anyway, we set up cones for these buses to come in so that our kids can get loaded on the buses. And the parents that have the assholery, Jean apparently, will literally park, cones be damned, and we'll say, I'm sorry, you know, you have to move. And we get all kinds of things like getting flipped off. I don't care about your rules. I don't care about what those kids have to do. We literally said we have kids. Yeah, we have disabled kids. It's almost every day.
Hers are physically.
Physically.
Okay,
they have to
so
get loaded on wheelchairs, and you're parking in a...
They're in wheelchairs.
Trays. They're obviously disabled. It's not like we do have some kids that are very ambulatory and maybe have a little bit of autism. They had some CP. So from far away, to them, to the assholery people,
to the assholes,
they don't see that, you know.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that. And it's every day. So every day at school, there's always a story about a parent that's dealing in assholery when it comes to the buses. So that's that's just what's got me in this headspace because of what I've dealt with recently, like this week. But you know, once they get used to it, the school year is on course now. We're in November, so it's a lot better now. So,
well, I can jump right on to that bandwagon.
Right on.
My son, I call him lately. His nickname has been his assholiness.
Assholiness.
You'll learn more about him as we go through our life here. Trust me.
Yes.
Anyway, that's another subject for another day. But yeah, his assholiness. Because there is constant daily assholery from that guy. But, okay, he has an excuse and we'll talk about that another time.
We'll talk about
That's going to come up later in this video because we are talking about the family crazies.
Right. Well, I have to be careful about, because I only have two. And
we're not going to mention names.
We're not going to mention names.
We're just
maybe
gonna
even
say
genders in my family.
Things in our family.
I'll be honest.
it's also going to be our extended family, not just,
Right.
I mean, outside of my kids, your kids,
Sorry,
whatever.
I just put my foot on that shit the whole thing. Sorry, I keep putting my foot on the table.
Put your foot on the table.
I what the fuck, man. So I have learned that when I talk about things or make stories up, you have to lump them in. Like if I'm going to talk one of my kids, one of my family members, I will say, or one of my friends, or what.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes we might say family member. It could mean the spouse of a cousin.
Yeah.
It could mean.
And by the way, if it is
be a friend, and we're just trying to say it's family, or we could say a friend of mine, and it might be my, somebody
friend from 40 years ago,
or it might be a family member. Who knows? You won't know unless you're the person.
Like
you know the story.
If I have a story and I want to call somebody
quick break,
Smokey McGee.
Quick break.
Oh yeah, I need a quick break. Got my Hogwarts cup.
Yes. Friday night. And my husband's here. So as soon as we're done, he's going to drive me home.
Why do you have to tell people that? Nobody gives a shit. Nobody knows that you're...
Well, I just want to make sure they know that...
They don't even know whose house we're
Mom
at.
might be watching.
Yeah. Our mom will definitely... Mom, I know you'll be watching. You won't approve.
We love you, though.
Yeah, we do love you. And I know you love us. And
you know us.
You'll be supportive and watch it or listen to it and be like, oh, I wish they would see those things. But I get it. And we'll probably be that one day with our kids, too, I'm sure.
Probably. I already am.
Yeah, there's a few things. But anyway.
Okay. So, all right. So, assholery is the word of the day. Now, or the word of the week. So now what I want all of you to do is I want you to think back on this week, anything that you had going on in your life, any experience you had from somebody. Is there anything that happened to you that you could relate to the word assholery? Mm-hmm. And if so, please leave a comment for us and tell us your story about your assholery experience.
Yes, we would love to hear that.
It would be fun.
Because we know you all experience some level of assholery.
Oh, you just drive on the freeway, you experience it.
Yes.
All right, so now.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
I have 3 words for you.
3 words for me. Okay, let me brace myself.
You ready? Cigarettes, coffee, poop. Go.
A certain family member who partook in every single one of those, one being every morning. Every morning before they went off to work.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Before work.
Yeah.
There'd be the scent of the cigarettes, coffee, and poop. Now.
But that family member was a hardworking person.
Very hardworking.
And we say it all in fun.
Yeah.
We say it all in fun. Here. And we're not judging because I have partaken in all of those as well. So
yes. It's not about judging. It's about the memory. The instant memory. Those 3 words can conjure up an instant memory.
We know you're out there. You know you're out there.
You know who you are.
Yeah. We grew up in a small town, and we'll be talking about that plenty, I'm sure, too.
Sure.
But those of you who grew up in a small town, a small southern town, or
if you grew up with down home,
yeah,
really folksy people like we did, our family was just down home folksy.
You'll be able to identify with a lot of our isms and our stories.
So again, comment below if you know what we're talking about when we say cigarettes, coffee, and poop. Tell us about your experience with those wafting aromas.
Wow, you had to go there. Nice.
Yes, I did. Got to romanticize it somehow.
Yes.
To make it a memory.
Our family is so involved in poop that she's working on writing a book about it. All right. She has a message
coming out.
Yeah, but we won't say what it is.
It's a what do you call it? Collaboration.
Yes. We all have something to contribute.
Everyone contributed.
And when I don't write the fucking book. She's writing the book.
Some of the poems.
Yes.
Together.
But when it's done,
yes,
it'll be glorious, and we'll definitely be promoting that.
Podcast about that and promote that one. Yes, we will. All right. So today's episode anyway is about the crazies.
The crazies.
The family crazies.
Just
genetic crazies,
right.
I think I should say.
Yeah, because I will I want to say I haven't been officially diagnosed with ADHD, but everything in my life, which again, we go over that, screams ADHD. I had a child with ADHD. I think my mom had ADHD, but she begs to differ, and not in a bad way. She's not. She just thinks she has something else, and we've talked about that. My therapist, though, definitely, she's worked with people. She's like almost 70, and she says, "Yeah, you've got ADHD." She goes, "You don't need to go to the doctor and get a diagnosis."
It's definite.
And she's really good. But yeah, so all of us in the family, if you had a little Venn diagram of, we have ADHD, autism, we mild Tourette's, OCD, ADD, ODD, and bipolar, depression. I mean, and it's not like we're so unique, and there's no other families who have this. That's what we're saying. But when we say crazies, we laugh at it. It's the way we get through.
It's the perfect storm, really, of I don't want to call them disorders, because it's the perfect storm of conditions or wired brains. Let's say it that way. There are people out there with uniquely wired brains,
yes.
And I know we call it neurodiversity and so on.
It's fine.
There's so many terms for it.
Yeah.
And yes, I do believe that most families have, a huge cornucopia.
Thank you. I like that. Cornucopia.
Brain functionality.
Yeah.
Because we have a family member who is extremely brilliant, struggled in school, socially, struggled in school with teachers, struggled in the working environment because this person knew more than any teacher and knew more than any boss that they had. So how do you go through life when you literally know more than anyone who's standing up there trying to teach you something?
Right.
How bored would you be?
Yeah.
And you'd be there like,
because we have family members who think they know more than they really don't. They're neurodivergent. No, but they think, oh no, I know more than that person, or I know I could tell you how to do it. Yeah. So that's what I mean, though. There's all kinds. We have, like you said, we had someone who was gifted and they really were smart and not given a chance. And I know she won't talk for herself, but she's very gifted and smart as well.
I just don't know research very well. I'm an expert at research.
And a little bit of road rage, as we talked about earlier.
That's another subject.
That's
another time.
You're not smart enough to avoid that, are you? No.
I think that comes from one of my rage.
Oh.
That.
Yes, we'll talk about that another day too.
Snarliness.
We have a little bit of everything from everybody, but it's good. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So
I wouldn't trade, by the way, who I am and what I have, because everything I have learned, I wouldn't trade it. It's helped me in my entertainment part of my life, in my teaching part of my life.
Absolutely.
And I know that I wouldn't have been where I am and know all the things I know and have learned all these lessons if I hadn't gone through all that stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm a firm believer in that.
I agree. And I think that's what they're learning with neurodivergence, actually, is that the different kinds of ways that our brains are wired, when you think about it, all contribute to something in society, or something in it, whether it's creativity or an expert in mathematics, an expert in physics, or, all of us contribute to whatever happens in this world to grow our understanding and whatnot.
Right.
It also contributes to the family dynamics. But you have to honestly be accepting and understanding and patient with all of those different facets in your family.
And in yourself.
Or you don't get along with each other at all.
But you have to be willing to accept it in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
The people who finger point say, oh, no, it's society, it's the universe, it's whatever. And not realizing, is it me? Am I the problem? I love that meme because
Yeah.
I was that person for many years. We both were like, oh, everybody's picking on us. Everybody's making our lives shitty. Why is this happening? And not realizing, you're kind of doing it yourself.
Yeah. It's definitely a case of the more you delve into who you are and how you react to things, how you view the world, all of that. How am I taking things personally?
Oh, yeah.
Am I overreacting? Am I perseverating on something that's ridiculous? All of those things.
Yeah.
Really, once you start exploring those things and admitting and owning up to them,
right,
it's really interesting how you can kind of turn your life around.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still a work in progress.
Yeah, you're never going to get it. There's never going to be. And that once you learn, that there's never going to be
It's like if you think of 100 yards, a football field, you think of 100 yards. I'm still at the 20.
Yeah.
In my own goal. I'm in the 20.
See, but
I'm still trying to trudge through to the 100.
No, but seeing the way I see our brains, like she'll say something and I totally have a different thought process. It's not wrong. It's just that it's different. So this may be like more like the Ziggy, the character Ziggy is. I'm old, whatever. Or Murphy's Law or any of that. That when you get to the 100 yards, it's going to be another 100 yards to get to. That's my thing. So there's never that finish line.
Well, there shouldn't be an end.
No, but that's the thing. It's the journey. I know people say that sounds so cliche. I don't like saying that it's the journey because sometimes the journey sucks. But
it does. A lot of times it does.
The journey. I didn't say journey.
I don't necessarily mean that. What I mean is that as soon as you feel like you've learned everything there is in life, you might as well just die.
Well, yeah, because what is there left to do? You knew everything.
If you're not going to grow anymore and you're not going to learn anymore, then what's the point?
Yeah.
I guess that's what I mean.
Yeah. If you've achieved everything and you knew everything, you'd be so bored.
Yeah. It'd be like, okay, I should just roll over and die now because I know it all and I've done it all.
Yes. There's people out there going, no, I never want to die. Dude, if someone said today, you could live forever, we have the robotics. You can do it, however they do it.
I'd say, but do I still have to earn money?
Nah. Or do I have the option to end it, or is the button where I can't reach it to turn it off? Fuck that. No thanks.
Well, and my thing is, again, do I have to earn money? Are you going to pay for me to live and live nicely? Because I don't want to live forever.
Totally into that. And by the way, we do go off on tangents. And again, this is just a show about craziness which I'm thinking.
Back to the crazies.
Yeah.
Back to the crazies. So
back to the crazies.
ADHD.
Yeah.
Okay, we kind of worked on that a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we know that there have been even our one of our great grandparents was a restless soul.
Yes.
This person could not stay in one place for long, could not stay with one family, it was like this constant need for adventure, this constant need to explore, and was a very restless soul. We've seen that in one of his offsprings. I shouldn't say his because it never is. Anyway, that person's offspring, we've seen it a couple generations down, the same thing.
Yes.
So it's very interesting because you can make a connection to those people that had that same kind of drive.
I think so.
To be adventurous and not, they didn't want to stay home.
Yeah.
They wanted to be out exploring the world.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. And those, actually, the people who had those afflictions, I shouldn't say afflictions, conditions or wiring, let's say wiring. The people who had those without wiring were also highly intelligent, extremely intelligent. So it's like those things are kind of connected.
And can I say, too, that, because I've noticed this in these types of people, and, I'd like to say myself, but no, you really want to help people. Like when you have that wandering spirit, or you want to help people because it makes you feel good.
Yes.
But you're also flighty, so it comes off as you're here one minute and then you're not, and you're not consistent. And I think that's how that person who you're talking about.
Absolutely.
It's they're doing all these things for people, but and it looks like they're just doing things for themselves, but maybe it's a form of escape. They travel around because they're escaping themselves. They're escaping their family or whatever. They're misunderstood. Yeah. So a lot of it just gets misconstrued, I think, a lot, that, they're very helpful kind of people, but then, I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't care about me. But then again,
what does that go back to? ADHD.
Exactly, yeah.
So there's that thread still through there.
Well, ADHD, and like we talked about, there's so many things that go into it. Yeah.
There too.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, we've talked a little bit about ODD, and some of those that in our family that have had diagnosis or maybe not diagnosed with the ADHD, there's hints of ODD in there too, which is oppositional defiance disorder. Now, oppositional defiance disorder is an interesting cat. It's like
you feel like they're just bad to be bad. If you were observing a child that had it, you'd be like, that kid just wants to be bad. They're just a brat.
But it's truly that it's like a it's like not wanting to be told what to do. Mm-hmm. They have their own idea on what they want to do or how they want to accomplish something or how they think something should be done.
Yeah.
And the minute somebody says, you've got to do it like this, they're going to immediately draw back and find any way that they can to prove that their way is right and to go ahead and do it their way.
Exactly.
And they're going to purposely sabotage anything you tell them is the right way to do it because they need to prove to you that that's not how it's not right.
And see, by the way, again with the Venn diagram of all that it touches that what you're talking about, there's some of that in autism, like spectrum disorder, not, there's some in ADHD, but if you have a kid that's full blown just that, then it's just a whole different thing. But because I know when you talk about things, or I talked about things and people say, oh, well, yeah, but that's this or that's that. It's like, yeah I know, but you got to understand that they all share certain traits together. But then when you delve into the individuality of these people that have that certain neurodivergence, it's going to be just its own unique thing, I guess is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And disclaimer, I mean, we're not experts on this. The only expertise we have is in being involved because we have some of these things.
Yeah.
We've been diagnosed with some of these things.
Yes.
Or we have children with these things, or we have grandchildren with these things, or we have siblings with these things, or we have parents, or we have grandparents, or we have aunts, or we have uncles, or cousins. We have the scope of it all in our family. And I'm sure some of you do too.
Of course.
Our fascination is in how, like she said, the Venn diagram, or even if you think of it as a hub, there's like a spoked wheel. Mm-hmm. And at the center of this wheel is something
that we all share in common.
We all share in our genetic or epigenetic makeup.
Something that's not right.
That sprouts off.
It's not wrong.
It's
just not right. Yeah.
Because I got these epigenetics that are affecting me. Sorry.
When you said epigenetics, at first I thought eugenics. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, no, she said epigenetics. What?
No, epigenetics. And I think what's interesting about that is you think back even like to our great-grandfather or our great-grandparents and the things that they had to endure in their life story.
Oh, yeah. Without a diagnosis, without knowing what they had.
But I'm saying even just in life in general.
Oh,
things that they had to conquer.
Yeah. In the late 1800s.
How that anxiety would cause certain conditions to erupt and then you're patterned in a way of behavior that
you pass on.
And so there's an element of that as well.
We could get into all of our definite ideas about how we feel, how genes are turned on, and nature versus nurture and all that.
Yeah, for sure. But we have
sorry.
No, you're good. We have so many. Okay, so I need to figure out how to explain this to you without betraying anyone here.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. First of all,
I need to get a drink for this.
Okay, so I have we'll set this up right now so that you know. Okay, so I have a 31-year-old son, my fourth child. I have 3 older daughters that are just amazing, successful women. 2 of them are mothers. But my son, my youngest, was diagnosed with severe autism at age 2, and he's now 31. Okay, so he has severe or what they want to call profound or level 3, wherever you are on that terminology. I don't really care. I just know he's semi-verbal, and that by that I mean he can say, "I want a Diet Coke," or
Bathroom.
or and he can sit there and pick out his YouTube channel. He can go. He can practically program the TV. So it's not that he's not intellectually there. He just communication-wise struggles greatly. So I call him nonverbal simply because he cannot sit there and have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
He could not tell you what's wrong with him. He has a hard time comprehending things. Anyway, so that is such a severe end of what we're talking about in our family dynamics. From that end to say, another family member who maybe has a few quirks, but in general, they're just a normal kind of person.
Yeah.
There is everything in between there.
Right.
Everything in between there. And that's, like I said, parents, grandparents, siblings, cousins, children, grandchildren.
Well, we were just talking about one of my children. I have 2 kids. I have a girl and a boy, son and a daughter. A girl and a boy. They're in their 30s. But one has ADHD like me, and one has not. I would say maybe have like kind of a depression kind of thing going on. And I'm not going to say any names or anything. I don't think they'd mind. But we were talking about how one of my children would get very upset whenever they were surprised. We were just talking about this earlier. And I was trying to explain to their child, which I guess I just gave it up right there. I was trying to explain to their child, my grandchild, that your parent did not like being surprised if I said, "Hey, we just rolled up to Disneyland, surprise." And then here comes the waterworks, like hysterics. And at the time I didn't understand it. I was, I don't know, probably 30 something, and really hadn't, one of the kids hadn't had a diagnosis yet. And so I didn't know what to think. And then they get a gift, like someone gave them a cat. And you've seen all these videos probably on Instagram where kids get puppies and they start freaking out, crying. And so as I was explaining this to my grandchild, well, why would they hate Disneyland? Well, why would they not like a cat? And what did that cat do? And so that's another, I don't even know what that would be classified as. It sounds like it's spectrum disorder, but this child was never diagnosed because the other sibling had their diagnosis. And so it was like all about this child and this diagnosis. And then maybe this one got a little bit left out and was never explained. Yeah. But now with all the things we know, that would make sense if there's that. And I mean it could be the tiniest little thing, but it could also be something else. Sure. Just sensory, sensitivity issues.
I think that's there. The thing is when I talk about the hub, or even if you talk about the Venn diagram, where everything comes together in the middle of the Venn diagram, to me is emotional deregulation or irregulation. I don't know which word it would be. Irregulation, I guess. Anyway,
we'll put something out there later.
So where you're either up here and then you're over here and everything is over dramatized.
And it's not bipolar, that sounds bipolar, but it's more just
I think it's
like an emotional swing in a way.
It's a big pendulum of emotion. Yeah. So it's a regulation of your emotion issue. Yeah. And what I find interesting is that even with autism, what I'm learning, because I still learn, because I research and I listen to what other adults with autism say, and people who have been at this a lot longer than I have in my 31 years. Yeah. I just learned in the last week or so to try as a parent to remember that sometimes your child or your adult child, when it seems like they're upset about something, it's not necessarily that they're upset about it, that they're having trouble controlling their emotions about it, and that they're just kind of reacting in whatever way their body goes off.
Was this that video about that girl with the costume? The bell costume.
Yes,
I saw that.
Sure.
I may have. I don't know. I share so much shit. I don't know.
And I could research a little bit more on it. And it was like, wow. How
they thought she didn't like the bell costume or she didn't want to wear it.
Yeah.
But then when they finally communicated with her on whatever systems they use, and she just said she
uses a word board.
Okay.
A spell board, letter board.
So basically just saying, I'm having emotions.
Yeah.
I'm just having big emotions.
I'm working with my son on letterboard. Yeah. He knows how to use a keyboard.
We don't want to say he's lazy, but
here's
the boy can be lazy.
All he ever wants to spell out on that dang board is, I want Diet Coke. So I'm teaching him, I'm going back to square one with a letter board, and we do it every day, and we go through the alphabet, and he can, he remembers a few things, but it's not like these kids that are just amazing, and they just go and they spell all these words.
Yeah,
he's not there.
That's another story for another day.
So, yeah. Anyway, but yes, that was the video that prompted me to research. And the reason it was important to me was because I thought, well, if emotion and not being able to regulate your emotion is part of the problem, then all of these conditions, could be related to whatever that is. So
who knows? And there's so much more we're going to find out. I mean,
for sure.
And we know it's not Tylenol, so I'm just saying it's not Tylenol.
Yeah. Not to.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry to be a pot stirrer. We talk about grandma not being right. Grandma's not right.
But
in that a sense.
But I'm going to say it anyway. Well, no, we're not. We're not going to go there. But let's just say, some of us parents of children with autism or children with other kinds of
because ADHD is next.
Different wiring. Like ADHD and other ODD and these other afflictions, Tourette's, you name it. All right. I've heard for 31 years, everyone's opinion on every cure, every cause, this and that. And y'all, they found a cure. No, they didn't. It maybe have been that. Oh, man. Now it's my fault. You go through this roller coaster of stuff. And it's like, dude, unless you are a scientist or some kind of a doctor that's worked in the field for 50 years or, I'm not going to take your word for it. It's not because I don't want to help my child, but it's because I've been through the ringer for 31 years.
Right.
And you have too.
With your
situation. So,
like I said, they're coming for us next.
Yeah.
But that's another story for another day.
So just to wrap this up, just talking about the crazies, the family crazies, because you need to have a base from which we're coming from. And know that me, in my 65 years, and we're going to talk about our business we had together and
there's
all of that.
There's so much.
But all of the kids that came through that business, thousands and thousands of kids that we got to know, thousands and thousands of kids that we worked with, we know a thing or two about these conditions and about how a family, because you think about the genetics, there's a little bit of all of this in everybody coming from all over the place in your family background.
Yeah.
But if you understand it in one person, it kind of helps you see the whole spectrum of everyone else.
Right.
And it's really a good thing to pay attention to.
I think so. I mean, just to get the knowledge about it and be willing to listen to everything. Like, there could be a cause for this or a cause for that. I'm willing to listen to it. And if there are significant findings on something, of course, that comes for medication, for therapy, anything. But everybody has to communicate with each other and not just say, well, I heard this and now it's written in stone, or, and educate yourself. Read everything, not just one thing, not just one-sided stuff. Get to know people.
Well, and also understand.
Get on threads, get on Facebook threads as something that you can see what other people are talking about and from different aspects. Don't just go to the same, because everybody has a different story to tell.
Well, and there are varying degrees.
Exactly.
There are varying degrees.
Everything
of all
has a
of these
spectrum.
things. Yeah, all
ADHD is a spectrum.
And it's not that they're all the same spectrum. We're not
Right.
saying that, but we're saying that all of these conditions do have a certain spectrum.
Yes.
You take schizophrenia. There's going to be a spectrum of
there's mild
severity,
and severe.
Right?
Well, that's like with ADHD. Like I don't think my mom never classified me as hyperactive, even though I was active and I dealt but nobody thought to diagnose me with that back in the day. In the 70s, girls weren't diagnosed with hyperactivity and whatnot, where my other offspring was definitely all over the place. We share so much similar characteristics, but the hyper part was a lot more. Now, I'm a hyper person, and everybody knows. Everyone who knows me knows I talk too much. I talk too fast. My mind is scattered. I talk fragmentally in sentences, whatever. So that's my part, where that and my offspring shares the same qualities. But as a kid, there was the definite running around.
Yeah, there was and the apple didn't fall far from the tree on that one with the grandchild.
Yeah, the grandchild
going there. So but that's the point. Is that neurodiversity makes sense for me because of the fact that you're talking about such a huge, if it were environmental, you wouldn't see a definite pathway all the way to this generation, from this one to this one. And there's a pattern.
And in layman's terms, to sum up what she's saying, one of my parents had it, I had it, one of my kids had it, and not the kid who has the grandkid, but the other kid has it. So it's in that genetics. It's not even passed down from my offspring to their offspring. It was from their there's the sibling of the parent of the grandchild. So I know we're talking in code a lot. Sorry, we don't like to name names, and until they come on and do an interview and say they agreed, then we can talk about them freely.
Yes, The whole point is that the genetics is spread across, and so you can't say environment or pills or medications or
vaccination. Shooting up. Heroin? You shoot that causing stuff?
Shoot a vaccination right here.
I know, man. I'm just taking your chain.
So it can't be just those things, because we're talking about genetics, Right. And in our case, our family is a perfect case study. Anybody who ever wants to do a case study on this shit,
but they all have to
our
participate.
family is a case study on this. So, we need to open up our minds a little more and not think that it's just one thing.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Earlier, I could hear my dog. My dog is sitting in here. My dog's snoring. And then he goes over to get water, staring at his butthole while he's drinking water. And then it starts coughing. But just in case you can, nobody's sleeping where we're at. It's just a dog.
There's rain going on.
There's rain.
If you hear something,
we're not by a waterfall, I wish.
It's just rain.
Just rain in
the window.
And I don't have rain gutters because the people who redid the roof didn't put the rain gutters. It's a long story, but anyway, so it's just
water.
Water.
We're really happy that you joined us.
Yes,
with this
thank
episode.
you. Congrats, sis.
Our maiden voyage here.
Yeah.
We kind of rambled a little bit, but that's what we do.
And just in case you didn't know, that we are sisters.
Yeah, we're sisters.
And we're best friends, sisters, and we were business partners for 25 years. We are Cheryl and Wendy.
And we'll see you on the next one.
For Granny Ain't Right.
Granny Ain't Right. Thank you. Bye-bye.